Welcome to the Jazz Piano School podcast, episode number 259. My name is Brendan Lowe, creator and founder of Jazz Piano School. In this particular podcast episode, Sterling Kozo, one of our amazing Jazz Piano School educators, is going to be teaching you 3 functional skill sets that every jazz pianist needs. Now, a lot of times I see students focusing a lot of their time on these rare microscopic jazz piano concepts that really don't result to anything, or they come up in rare situations in music barely ever. So it's a lot of wasted time. But I strongly encourage you to focus your time and efforts and your practicing on these 3 skill sets that Sterling's about to teach you, because when you do, you're going to develop as a completely well-rounded jazz pianist. Now, if you haven't done so, definitely go to jazzpianoschool.com to check out all the amazing education that we have available. And we do have a membership available too if you want to take that next step with us. Without further ado, let's dive right into this episode. Here we go.
Hey everybody, this is Sterling with another podcast lesson. Today I'm coming at you with 3 functional jazz piano skills that I think every musician should know. Now this podcast applies not only to jazz pianists primarily, but also to anyone who's looking to expand their repertoire to playing more jazz standards, as well as maybe non-piano primary musicians like horn players or vocalists, anyone looking to kind of fill out their repertoire and skills at the keyboard. So what we're looking at today is Jerome Kern's All the Things You Are, a well-known jazz standard, and I'm going to show you 3 ways to approach this tune, coming at it from functional skills of solo piano, accompanying, and also soloing. So the first thing that we want to look at is how to play solo piano. And one thing I always tell my students is the solo piano, you have to fill all 3 roles. You got to be playing the bass, the harmony, and the melody at the same time. So obviously we're going to have to split that between the 2 hands. So I'm going to show you how I would do that over All the Things You Are. And I should also mention that there's going to be PDF practice materials in the description below, which you can use to get an idea of some of the notes that I'm playing, and you can refer to them after this lesson. So here's how I would play All the Things You Are solo piano. Alright, so that would be a solo piano approach. I was covering both the bass, melody, and harmony between both of my hands. Now, if I were playing, for example, with another musician like a vocalist or a horn player, I would let them cover the melody, and instead I'd be playing left-hand bass and some right-hand chords. Usually like some thirds and sevenths of each of the chords. In this case, I'll be doing 4-part chords. So some rootless voicings in my right hand while I'm covering the roots, the bass notes, in my left hand. So you can refer to the PDF practice materials for some examples of some 4-part chords that you can use to accompany for this second functional skill. And I should also mention that there's a lot of PDFs and exercises available in the JPS curriculum that you can use to practice and develop your skills for jazz piano over a variety of jazz standards and tunes. So here is skill number 2. I'll be playing left hand bass and right hand chords, accompanying. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. All right, so that was a chorus of All the Things You Are, accompanying with 4-part chords in my right hand and some bass. I was playing like a 2-feel at first and then went into some walking bass, which is another technique that you can use. So you can refer to those practice materials for some ideas of some of the notes I was using in my right hand chords. And we've also got a podcast on bass lines if that's something you're interested in learning more about. So last but not least, we've got the third functional technique, which would be soloing. Maybe you are sitting in with a full band, or you got a bass player that's holding it down for you, and that's going to include some left hand chords, rootless, just like the ones that we used in our right hand for skill number 2. But this time we're playing some melodies in our right hand, as well as a little bit of improvisation. So let's hear what that would sound like. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. All right, so that was a little bit of soloing over All the Things You Are. I was using some left-hand rootless chords, which you can find in the practice materials. And at first I started a little bit with the melody, but then transitioned into a little bit more of improvisation type of thing. So this is something that you can try over any jazz standards, especially when you're playing in a band or sitting in a jam session. And just to review, we've got 3 functional skills: solo piano, accompanying with left-hand bass, right-hand chords, and our third skill of left-hand chords, right-hand melody, or improvisation. So I hope that you found this interesting in ways that you can try these functional skills over any jazz standard or songs in other genres as well. So don't forget to check out the PDF practice materials, and as always, happy practicing.
All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed that episode. Don't forget to go to jazzpianoschool.com to check out all of our free, amazing education, all of the free podcast blogs. We do have a membership if you're looking to take a next step forward with us, get access to over 1,000 different jazz piano videos, playbooks, mini courses, a main course curriculum, success path, and so much more. If you have any questions, feel free to email us at support@jazzpianoschool.com. I hope you have a wonderful day, and as always, happy practicing.